Hello and welcome to the Aromatic Mystery School. I'm Elizabeth Ashley, the Secret Healer, and welcome to the Secret Healer Shed. As you can see, we have many daffodils behind us, and that is because we are talking about the mysteries of Demeter and Persephone, because I wanted to tell you a little bit about the course that I have running at the moment about the Demeter archetype. So I am a Melissa priestess, and in the times of ancient Greece, the Melissae were the priestesses of Demeter Core. And the Kore was the maiden who was snatched as she plucked from Narcissus and taken down into the underworld to become eventually the queen of the underworld and the bride of Hades. Her name was Persephone. Her mother Demeter was left behind and left bereft. And interestingly, Jungian psychology talks about how we all have these goddess archetypes in our body, and the Demeter archetype is the mother. And Jungian psychology, and particularly I'm talking about the work of a lady called Jean Shinoda Bolen, talks about how the Demeter archetype is the mother, or the nurturing side of our personality, which thrives in a woman until it can't, until the ability to nurture is taken away from them. Perhaps your children are growing and going away to college, or maybe you haven't been able to conceive, or a baby's died, or maybe you've lost a job. Maybe the nurturing aspect came out through your job and you've been made redundant. What happens to this thread in somebody's psychology is when the Demeter archetype, when the nurturing part of the personality gets quashed or stifled, then Demeter's rage rears up, and she withdraws her powers as Thea, her goddess powers, from the world. In the story, Demeter gets so annoyed that nobody will give her child back to her, keep her trapped in the underworld, that she withdraws her power of Thea, which are it is her fertility to the land. And so this is winter, right? She makes everybody starve, and eventually she forces Zeus, who is frightened that he'll no longer get any sacrifices, into doing some kind of negotiation with Hades to return Persephone to her, to the Kore, to her. And of course, Hades tricks her, and he says to Persephone, you must eat some pomegranate. But the fates have a law in place that says anything that you eat in the underworld means that you can't return. Well, so that she's eaten 4 or 6 seeds of the pomegranate, depending on the version of the myth. So that's the time that she's in the underworld each year. And so you have these cycles, right, of the spring and the summer, autumn and winter. But this aspect of a woman's psyche feels the cruelest to me, because usually when your child goes away to university, gets a job, moves home, get married, all of those things, it coincides with your hormones changing and menopause. And so for many women, this can be a real breakdown in the psyche. They can go deeply into depression, and become incredibly angry. And so this work is about exploring this part of the personality. So it's 5 lessons which you can download all in one go. So when I originally taught it, I taught it a week at a time. So it's designed for you to do 1 set of work a week. And each week we have a lesson about the mythology, about the psychology that goes on, and then also there is a corresponding meditation that goes with it. And so it's a guided meditation with the goddesses, with Demeter, but also with the Kore. And the first one that you do, sorry, the second one that you do is actually exploring the mysteries of Eleusis. The Eleusinian mysteries were an enormous initiation in the ancient world, and it's a guided meditation that you explore them in your mind. And so you go and meet these goddesses to explore these different aspects of your personality. And we do it inhaling essential oils. So we can use like an aroma pendant or simply inhaling like that. And Demeter, when she was worshipped by the Romans, had a different name. Her name was Ceres, and it was because, and the word cereal comes from that, C-E-R-E-A-L, not cereal on the TV, but the cereal that you eat for breakfast, because Ceres was the grain harvest. And so we use grasses predominantly, and seeds. So I didn't check before I did it, so I have to remember. So we use lemongrass, we use Palmarosa, we use black pepper and coriander seed, and we also use Melissa if you have it. Do not go out and buy Melissa, it's too expensive. So the introductory meditation is a meditation into the beehive. And remember, I said the priestess is called Melissa, and the beehive smells of Melissa essential oil, but also you can use lemongrass because it's so simple. So you only need 4 oils to do this work. As I say, you do it in your own time. I also recommend that you have some vetiver oil. Now, the reason for that is that vetiver is not used in the actual guided meditations, but they are designed to lift you out of your body, right? Because bees fly, right? Melissa fly. So you will have this sensation of being lifted all of the time. And that's beautiful when you're doing the work. But then if you've got to go and drive the car, or you've got to deal with the kids, you need to bring yourself back into your body and quick. And so we use vetiver to do that, just to be able to go and do the washing up and all of that stuff, so you're not floaty out of your head all of the time. But likewise, if you haven't got vetiver, you could use myrrh, sandalwood, anything that feels heavy and grounding. But as I say, this is all curated for you within the sessions. You can do it at your own pace. Some weeks you might feel like you want to do more, some weeks you might want to do less. And of course, they're really beautiful meditations, I have to tell you, really quite transformational, and you can use them outside of this for other things. There's particularly one, an alchemical one, where you're bubbling new things to transform energy. So you can come back to these over and over again. And so when you have this is yours as long as you want it. It's not going to disappear. It's hosted in your portal in the Aromatic Mystery School. So the cost of the course is £80. And as I say, what you get for that is 5 recorded lessons, lectures if you like, and 5 deep, very deep visual meditations, guided visualizations. So 10 videos. And I think you will really like it. And I hope that you do. So if it sounds interesting to you, please click the link below and find a little bit about the history of the women of the time and why these goddesses would have been so important to them, and feel the transformation in your body as you come face to face with the goddess and find out how she is pulling your strings and how you can move out of that to start to embrace other archetypes, like Athena if you want a new job, for example, Aphrodite if you want to become more voluptuous and sexy, less mumsy. All of those things are addressed within the videos. So click the link below and I'll see you inside.